Good evening, welcome. I'd like to refer Clover Garden, October 12th, 2021, Board of Directors meeting at 6:36 p.m. Please note that Ms. Ashley Lane is absent tonight. Mr. Aiken, role of the board and mission.
Role of the board, we are entrusted to care for the current school and stay focused on the vision for the future school. No trust, no unity, no progress. Mission of Clover Garden School. Clover Garden School will foster community, generate enthusiasm, challenge students academically, and produce successful citizens.
Thank you. Has everyone had a chance to review the agenda? Any questions? I have a motion to second. Ms. Foster, all in favor? Thank you. Has everyone had a chance to August 10th, 2021 minutes and the September 28th, 2021? Are there corrections, changes, or questions? I have a motion to approve the August 10th, 2021. Foster, second. Merle, all in favor? Thank you. I have a motion to approve September 28th. Ms. Merle, second. Papa, or Happy, sorry. All in favor? Thank you. Ms. Reagan, do we have any comments from the state?
No, ma'am.
Going down to finances, Ms. Simmons.
Yes, ma'am. You have in front of you for a motion to approve the July 2021 and the August and the September 2021 monthly budgets.
These were distributed prior to the meeting. Are there any questions or discussion for the July, August, or September budget? Do I have a motion to approve the July, August, and September 2021 budgets? Mr. Huffine, second. Ms. Foster, all in favor? Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Simmons. Academics, principals report, Mr. Baker.
Okay, first thing with the principal's report was the attendance, which we focused on this year, trying to increase the amount of attendance at school each day. And on the first page, you'll see the attendance for August, from August 23rd up to August 1st. And with the plan that we have, we reward the grade level that has the highest attendance. And you can see here the fifth grade had the highest with 95.47%. And first grade was right behind them with 95.31%. And on the next page, you see the enrollment update. As of October the 12th, there were 648 enrolled with total applications of 627. And the current wait list is at 524. There's a new blog series coming with senior Zoe Brown, who has a heart and passion for students at Clover Garden to be a family and to treat each other with love and kindness. She's working on a new blog series that will encourage family within the classroom to be kind to one another. Her blog will include her reading a picture book that supports the month theme, and will also have supports that teachers can use in the classroom with their students. The blog can also be used by families to facilitate conversations of love and acceptance of our peers. Our third grade teacher, Ms. Long, has started a new book study at Clover Garden. She had asked the other English teachers about if they would be interested in a book study, and they were all interested in it. So they started this with the first book being Uncovering the Logic of English. Below that is a shout out to Mr. Cheek and his AP students. Last year was a stellar year for Mr. Cheek and his AP Math students and his statistics students. Despite COVID-19 and all the challenges that was brought by COVID, Mr. Cheek students rocked the AP exam. In AP Calculus, they had a 100% passing rate. All three students scored a 4 out of 5, which is very tough to do, and will earn college credit for Calculus 1 and 2, which I think is incredible, having struggled through those classes myself. A score of 3 earns credit in all UNC public universities and most private institutions as well. In AP Statistics, 3 students made a 5, which is a perfect score. 4 students made a 4, and 1 student made a 3. So he had a total of 8 passing scores out of 11 students. And those 8 students earned college credit for statistics and or data analysis course. On the next page, you have the graduation rates for Alamance County Charter Schools. Those ranging starting from 2015 up to 2021. Clover Garden graduation rate has exceeded Alamance Burlington school system by 5% points and statewide rate by 5.4 percentage points in 2021. Virtual college visits, our first college virtual visit, we did basically as a trial run. It was with High Point University, where we had all the 8th grade students meet in the classroom, and we had a representative from High Point to meet with them through Zoom and take them on a campus tour and tell them about the school and opportunities that they had there. And we felt like it was such a huge success that we set another one up for October the 1st, which we had 8 different universities meet with them through Zoom, and they just, each teacher had a different college, and the students rotate after each meeting. So each did like a 30-minute presentation for each school. They showed them, did a campus tour and things like that. And we plan another one for November 1st, but we'll have at least 8 more universities on the same thing. And not only universities, but community colleges as well. Next, for an upcoming event is the Halloween trunk or treat. I've not experienced this, but I've heard that it was a huge success last year, so it's coming back again this year. And lastly, we have 4 new faces here. First one is Melissa Baker, teacher assistant for 3rd and 5th grade. And she and I both agree that you can never have enough bakers on your staff. We have our social worker, new social worker, Ms. Burge, who's hit the ground running. She's been doing really, really well. And I'm surprised Ms. Rick and I haven't scared her away. And a former student of mine, Ms. Catherine Hubbard, is our new Spanish teacher. And then we have Ms. Robertson, who will be an exceptional children's teacher.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Business opening update, Mr. Reagan.
So we do not have any data for this meeting. This is kind of carryover from September, but we did put the metrics back in there for you from last month. Our Health and Wellness Committee meets again this Friday. There's a couple of things that we're trying to branch out just a little bit and try to loosen up some of the restrictions. And so there's some things coming up in regards to visitors. You know, we're getting ready to come into party time when it comes to the holidays. So we know that there's going to be some classroom activities that the people are wanting to know, hey, what can we do? Can we do anything? So our Health and Wellness Committee has some tasks that they're going to be looking at this Friday. So we're going to try to answer some of those questions. We're trying to have kind of more of a normal year with performances and things like that. So I know with our chorus program, our dance program, we're trying to incorporate some of that this year, because we went, a year without having any of that. So band has done a great job. They have been participating in competitions. They have a competition this weekend at Western. So it's exciting because they're kind of paving the way for us to start with our other performing arts groups as well. So still in the substantial range here with spread of COVID. You guys watch the news like we do with the vaccines and what's available and things like that. It kind of if you guys are see on Sundays, we do include now every Sunday a metrics update. So that metrics update this one is for our community, for Alamance County, Guilford County and Castle. But we've also been sending out an update that has to do with our community in-house, with our kids and our staff and faculty. So we just came off of a break. So the numbers look great on Sunday because there was nobody here last week. So it kind of ebbs and flows. So I'll let Ms. Cox speak to you a little bit about the metrics and the updates there. But our committee is still in full force. We are still meeting and trying to stay up to date, as well as discussing what other measures we can put into place. Just truth and transparency. It's been very tough with kids having to go out for quarantine. It disrupts the instruction and things of that nature. And so we're trying to do as much as we can to prevent the kids from having to be sent home. So again, I appreciate the mask mandate that we continue to have in place. That is still the recommendation from our Health and Wellness Committee. It has helped keep our kids in the building. Those are questions that Ms. Cox specifically asks. And the teachers try to enforce with our kids. So that really does make a difference whether the kids have to stay or go. So that's been huge for us. So I will pass it off to her. We are working on our next measure that we're going to put into place in regards to mitigation strategies and trying to keep the kids in the building.
All right, so good evening. If you look in your packet, you'll see the weekly update is actually past the metrics that Ms. Braden talked about. And it lists every week. So as of October 4th, which again, it looks great because we were on break, we had 2 positive students and only 4 quarantined, but I will be watching the next 14 days. That is very crucial for us. And so you can see the graph there as well. These numbers have to be transmitted every Friday to our cohorts we work with Duke University, the ABC Collaborative. And we have to do monthly scenarios as well, where it talks about how many students have been quarantined. Was it athletic related? Was it lunch or cafeteria related? How many staff members do we have out? That all that kind of good stuff. So just want to let you guys know that that information is being recorded with our ABC Collaborative, and we're still working in conjunction with our Alamance County Health Department partnership. If you look on the next page, we've talked about a little bit of the testing. So for the last several months, we've been watching some of the other schools and on our North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services calls that Ms. Greg and I have. We are really stressing the importance of testing. Now, with that being said, it has to have written consent. We are just now in the first stages of trying to see what that's going to look like. Is that something that we do want to offer? What if we do offer it? Who would be the pool candidate, so to speak? So again, it's not a lot of information to start off with, but I do want to let you guys know at the end of the day, it is the parent or guardian who makes the ultimate decision. If they decide not to have the child tested, then they will be called by me, and we'll go from there, depending on what road they want to go down as far as is it positive, are they showing signs, symptoms. But if they do want to have the testing done, we will actually be able to do that. And we're looking more into like the first part of next year. We certainly don't want to say, yes, we're going to start testing and then throw it out there. We want it to make sure that it's very smooth transition. As you guys know, we don't like to just jump in head first into the deep end. I have to understand all the analytical parts with it as in regards of reporting, how do we order it, who's responsible for what, and all that kind of stuff. So in your packet, you can look over about the company who is offering the state testing. This is through the state. And then you'll see on the very next page where it gives you the 4 little buckets, what I like to call it right here, where it talks about the different services. So you have a routine screening, and then you have a diagnostic test. You can do a pool, so you just pull random up to 30, so you can do 5 out of one class and 10 out of another one. Or is it something that we want to do for athletics? Again, there's a lot of if, and, buts, and ors, and I'm just wanting to make sure that we all understand what are we looking to achieve out of it. If we can stop students from having to go home, that's our ultimate goal, is to keep them here in school. Again, on the next part, it talks about these little pools that I was just stating. Do you wanna do it as a pool? Do you want it as an individual? It's not like it was to start off with, where you do the little tube and it goes, it touches your brain, so to speak. It's very here at the very end. They've talked to us. It's very simple. They say that even the kindergartners can do it. So, there's a lot of potential here. But again, we want to make sure that we're making this as a smooth transition, what's going to work best for our kids, our athletics, and all of our other sports, band, and arts, as well as in the classroom. Any questions?
I got one. So back to the map.
Yep.
So they have not formed this in North Carolina yet?
Which one are you talking about? I'm sorry.
Okay. I didn't know what the blue stood for.
Yeah.
The dark blue.
So they've actually been doing it all over the United States. These are the trial areas right now. As you can see, North Carolina is like they're starting the beginning stages here. Or the beginning, in discussions. The dark blue are already contracted and they're doing it. So like California, Washington, Arizona, Texas, they're already doing those in the schools. The ones that are like the middle grade, they're actually doing the advanced contact tracing, which means they're doing it pooled, they're doing it individually, and they're doing rapid. So they're doing all three of them. And then again, the last but not least is the very light ones. They're in discussions of trying to get it throughout the state of North Carolina. But this program has the authorization and support of the Department of Health and Human Services and DPI. It's a very good question. Thank you.
Ms. Thompson, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just one vendor.
That is correct.
That the state uses or that you can choose from.
Yes, ma'am. So as Ms. Bracken said, that this is just one vendor. There are multiple vendors that have access, but this is the first one that has actually reached out to us based off of the Department of Health and Human Services. And I think it goes back into that ABC Collaborative, the Duke University. They're sharing all this information, which is great, and they're starting to reach out to other schools of what would work best for you. So this is not, we've got to sign on with this, just this specific vendor. It can be somebody else if you choose.
Another positive, just have not officially received, so look at a budget perspective here, we have not officially received funding yet. But there's an opportunity to be able to have a school nurse that comes along with this. So we're very excited, and I'm very excited about that, about having an official school nurse here on campus. That is something that we have been planning and thinking about for the expansion and things like that, but that may get us that sooner. So we're very excited about that, and it's someone to manage that testing. So thanks to
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Ms. Barakin, we need to vote on the mask policy for October.
yes, ma'am.
Health and Wellness recommends staying 100% with masks.
Yes,
correct? Okay, any discussion or questions about that?
There an end, like, Amy, what is the end? Are we ever gonna, what's it gonna take to consider this?
So for us, we're looking at the bigger picture. So, we used to have masks at all times, and then we took those off when the CDC and the Strong Schools Toolkit gave us that guidance and said, hey, you don't have to have them outside. So that's really kind of our driving force behind a lot of things is the science behind it. Like, what's kind of stopping, and right now, with the whole part about sending kids home, if they had that mask on and they were consistently wearing it and accurately wearing it, that prevents a kid from having to go home. If we take that mask off right now, they would fall into what they call close contact, and so then they would have to be sent home. So I know from my end, on the administrative end, that's a big piece of me. I want to try to do it. And so for us, I think that they may potentially change that guidance depending on if we get out of the substantial spread category. So I think that they will probably, we really do look at the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services to kind of guide the decision making behind that. So, if they were to change that guidance perhaps and say, hey, the mask, wouldn't help us, keep kids in school, then, we could probably revisit that, at a later time. For us, I know we were just talking about this compared to last year and having had all the partitions up, and then, after time, they came back and was like, that's not really as beneficial. So if we get more updated guidance and things like that, that they aren't helping, then I think that would be a huge consideration for the health and wellness.
We also watch those weekly metrics as well. I mean, as you can see, there's not really been a consistent, it's been up, down, and then maybe the next week, and then it's up again, and then down again. So it's been really hard from an analytical perspective to say, over the last 6 weeks, we haven't stabilized. And so that's some of the things that we look at as well, is those numbers personally for Clover Garden. And just like Ms. Braden said, it ultimately comes down to the student and the teachers to ensure that they're wearing their masks consistently and accurately, because that's the first question that I'm gonna ask.
How are the kids doing with, the learning, now that they're face to face with teachers and peers and they've got their masks on? Do you feel like it's hampering the learning process, or are they just kind of taking it in stride?
So really, they have taken it in stride, and I have seen a huge improvement from day one to where we're at today in regards to the masking. Again, it only takes one time for it to change some of the rules, and they have seen it all. They talk about it. They see it from us. We lead by example. So we have started saying, if you see us wearing the mask, please make sure that you're wearing the mask. And a lot of them, I would say 98% of the time, these students are doing really good with the mask. They really are. I haven't seen any learning differences per se, but I'm not in the classroom. I can just only speak from me tracking the COVID virus itself.
I think the biggest part of that, I know y'all spoke to that in the last, as well, but making sure it's well fitting. That's been the only issue kids have issue with them is and so they're messing with them, they're fidgeting with them, and so other than that, if they have one that fits well, they don't mess with it. They usually stay like that. That's just been what because this last year gets the most traffic up there with face masks and replacing face masks and things like that.
So if we were to go to a option, anyone that comes in close contact with a definite positive case that wasn't wearing their mask properly have to quarantine 14 days. Okay. Is that the only drawback to having optional mask, or do you have to put the plexiglass petitions back up? What?
Not right now, but
So-
those were not effective. So there may be more, science coming behind the masks and the effectiveness of those two. And I also think about vaccination too. That's another caveat.
Just waiting on the young groups for that to be approved. And
Like if a child is if a child is vaccinated and they're identified as close contact, that gets them out.
yeah, that's correct. So that has been a learning curve as well, based off of some other things that we have been seeing, that we're getting more and more of the older students, they're getting vaccinated. And just like Ms. Braden said, if they're caught in that close contact, they don't have to be sent home. They're able to stay here at school. I'm really personally interested in the lower ages. I think they're right, getting very close into approving it, but we'll have to wait and see. So it really goes back to the science per se.
The thought process behind that too. So you're like, okay, well, why not just let high school, that's vaccinated, not wear their masks? There's no way for us to manage that, just realistically, for a K-12 school. So, there's going to be contact with kids that are not vaccinated or have the opportunity to be vaccinated. So that's like we're walking down the hallway together and I've got my mask on, has a mask on. You don't know, unless everybody's got to check this. And that would be very tough to manage with us being under, basically, and those kids go into the classrooms and stuff like that. So, that could be another thing. I know that's down the road. But if we like these things about expanding and that being just older kids, that could down. But again, the science changes all of these every day. There are bit patterns, things like that. So
I personally think education, especially kindergarten, facial expression is so, they're really missing out on a lot of good things, just for starters. So I think you're fair, so older ones could go without a mask. That's- rather do all.
And it is getting cooler, so we are encouraging. So like that is the big thing, like, how can we get kids outside? We have an outdoor class, we do have kids outside for lunch, but like trying to get those little adults, spread them out, and go outside. It's getting, they're like, I absolutely encourage that, so they do get some of that exactly what you're talking about, learning social cues and things like.
Questions? For Senate Bill 6. Ask about. Saunders, all in favor? All opposed? Governance, city update. Ms. Foster, any updates for the academic?
We have a meeting next Thursday. So, I've got this.
Any governance? It usually comes.
Yeah, I think everything's been updated and already, so we're good.
Miscellaneous, the finance, budget, funders. Long range,
All right, so still in our design phase, plugging along, moving on pretty good. So we do have another design meeting this Friday with the architect, mainly to go over the exterior, looks of the building, and we're still continuing to monitor budget along with floor plans and square footage and things like that. So it's kind of they kind of work with each other. So we're also in coordination with our septic engineer and doing some additional soil analysis. So we're meeting with our tree guy Friday to go over some clear to do some additional soil analysis. So after Friday, I'm looking at probably setting up another meeting within 2 weeks. Want to add anything, Senator?
Cutting it off.
So there's a lot of things still moving around, a lot of pieces moving around, but the site location is still the same. For the building floor plan is pretty much the same. So like I said, we're looking at the outside piece right now as far as the looks go. So assembly, some options there. I'll be able to share those.
great, thank you. Mr. 20-year committee have a virtual meeting planned in November. So we'll get that appointment out, so we can get that going. New business, Ms. Simmons, fire marshal inspection.
Fire marshal came out to the school on August 31st and reported no violations at this time, and a copy of the report is in the packet. But you continue to go down.
Yes, ma'am.
The next item for new business is the food inspection for the cafeteria. That was completed on September the 24th. That's also in your packet. They received a 99.5 sanitation grade. And so far I'll stop just to see if anybody got any questions.
That was the cafeteria.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it in weeks?
Yes, ma'am.
I thought the kids were in their rooms.
They are, but they go through.
Delivered.
Yes, ma'am. Any more questions? Our workers' comp audit is complete. They have confirmed and checked for the submitted mathematical accuracy and found everything to be in order. This was the, I'm sorry, Ms. Jackson, this is the 2020-2021 workers' comp audit.
Any questions for Ms. Simmons? PTSD update, Mr. Reagan.
It is our monitoring year for our beginning teacher support plan. So Ms. Nicola, and I are working on preparing for that audit. They are scheduled to come on campus, the 18th of November. So we are prepping for that and making sure that everything is in order. So they will come out and visit, monitor our files and our program, and then give us feedback on that. So we'll report back once that has been.
Any other new business? Question? Great. That brings us to closed session. Do I have a motion to move into closed session within statute 143-18-11 A16? Ms. Saunders, second. Mr. Huffines, all in favor? We have moved into closed session as of 7:07 PM. Thank you.
Take Brian's.